What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Koinyo Sessions with Jolo Baklig. And this is a podcast where we talk about a random word and turn them into a deeper and sensible meaning. So just sit back and join me on this another session to find out the random word of the day. And hi guys! Welcome back to Koinyo Sessions again. Another word, another day, another word that we will be coining. Okay. So if you've seen the title already, this is a wala lang episode. No, kidding aside, I just want to give you a little background of why are we going to talk about this word. All right? So I'm going to introduce the word later formally, but basically kasi I was just thinking of having another Konya sessions and I'm just running words into my mind, but all I can think about is wala. Ayan, so wala akong maisip. I don't have any other word to think of and I don't have any ideas right now. And then this word wala came something, 'di ba? Sobrang ironic from wala naging meron, 'di ba? So without further ado, okay, so wag na natin palampasin. Let's have this formal introduction of the word. So the word of the day is wala. Ayan. So the word the word is wala. Ayan. And if we will be coining the word, basically from the word wala kang makakoin na joke. You'll be able to come up with the words wall and then Parang ganun lang, parang wall. Parang mainly it's about the wall. Diba? Wall, wala. Ayan. So in English, when we say wala, diba, it's like nothing or nonsense. Diba? So something na wala lang or there's an absence of presence. Diba? Or lost, null, zero, as in wala. Diba? And us Filipinos, we have this wala lang culture. Diba? Like, ano problema? Wala lang. Diba? Or, sa mo gustong kumain, bakit dun mo gusto kumain? Ewan, wala lang. Diba? So, even though we want to say something or we want to share something, diba? Eventually, we end up with like, wala lang. Wala yun eh. Diba? Like, wala. I don't know what's wrong with us, pero that's like our culture, diba? We find ourselves saying, wala lang, ganyan. Pero like, if we will have a deeper meaning or if you're gonna talk about the word wala lang, it's like having a wall talaga. Diba? If we say wala lang and if someone asked us why, diba? And you just say wala lang, it's just we're trying to make a separation. Diba? We're making a wall. We're making a wall or a boundary so that the other person cannot pass through. Diba? Or no one can enter. Diba? And this happens like a lot when we say wala lang and the person we are talking to or even you can experience like, okay, so what is it? What's wrong with you? Diba? May mga ganun stuff. Like, we tend to shut people off and we feel like if ever naman na kapag tayong tinatanong na nahihiya tayo na parang bakit mo nasabing ganito? Or bakit gusto mo sa ganyan? Diba? Parang may gusto kang sabihin pero feeling mo walang sense or walang kwenta yung sasabihin mo. Kaya you'll just end up saying wala eh. Diba? Or another thing is like being wala in general. Like wala kang pera. Sorry. sorry. I have to drink this water. Alright. Okay, so like wala kang pera, wala kang hanap buhay, walang pag-asa, like walang nagmamahal sa iyo or walang nakakaintindi. 'Di ba? It's like wala lang eh, 'di ba? Parang you have this you are losing hope. 'Di ba? So when you say wala lang, basically you give up. You give up thinking and you give up expressing yourself to others. And you give up on the hope. You give up on the possibilities that can happen. Diba? Because all you can see is nothing. 'Di ba? And it's kind of sad. Because in fact, we have everything that we need. 'Di ba? God created us with the things that we already need. And the things that adds up to our lives are just blessings or just some products of our freedom, because we also have our freedom. We have our own freedom, 'di ba? But basically, God provided everything that we need. The air, the family that we have, or the clothes that we wear, anything that we have, it's everything. I mean, it's already there. It's here already. Diba? We just have to see the value of things, or those people that we think na wala. Diba? We just have to see the value and not just the wala. But rather, we just have to see the meron. Diba? So, what I said earlier, when we say wala, the coin word that we will be talking about is wall. Wall tuloy. Wall, hindi. Wall. Diba? Wall. It's like you realize there is a wall when you say wala. And the wall is hard to get through unless you speak with the guard. Like, for example, diba, sarado yung wall or may sarado yung gate. So, you have what you have to do is you have to speak with the guard, or kung sino mang tao behind that wall or behind that gate, diba? Or you just have to negotiate. Or if ever naman, like, kunwari, sinaraduhan ka or pinaglakan ka dahil late ka or something or whatever, you have to make peace, or you have to compromise, diba, to the other person na nasa wall. And with this, this made me remember the story of Joshua sa Bible. And there's the wall of Jericho. Ayan. So if you're not familiar with the story, so Joshua is a warrior. God appointed him after Moses died. So siya yung naging in charge sa mga Israelites. And then so they were traveling, and then one of the cities that they have to conquer is Jericho. So Jericho built a wall around their city. Ayan, so para iwas floods or iwas mga mag-a-attack sa kanilang city. Ayan. But for Joshua, they have to pass through the walls of Jericho. And what did they do? So they marched 6 days around the city together with his troops. So inikutan lang nila yung wall yon, and then they were just blowing their horns, and ayun lang, nag-iikot-ikot lang. And then that's for 6 days. And then on the 7th day, God instructed them to shout, and lahat talaga ng music and everything isigaw nila ng todo-todo. And then after that, alam niyo ba kung ano yung nangyari? After that, the wall collapsed. Oh, 'di ba? Nag-collapse yung wall. Sumigaw lang sila and nagpatugtog lang sila ng mga musical instruments. Walang war. Wala silang ginawang something na violent, 'di ba? So what can we see, or what can we understand from this scenario alone? And what can we learn from this simple story? So if you see a dead wall, definitely it's not just wala. You have to face na there's still something. 'Di ba? So nung nakita nila Joshua, yes. Proud ako sa story na to. Joshua is one of my favorite characters sa Bible talaga, and it's my name. Ayan, so asan ako, nawala tuloy ako. Ayan. So if you have to face something, you have to face that wall. It's not just a dead wall. 'Di ba? You have to do something about it. Hindi yung attitude na wala ganyan 'di ba? But you have to think of like, okay, there's this wall. So there must be some other way, or there might be a meron that you can do. 'Di ba? Instead of wala, you think na meron to. So you continue to look for it, and you have to face the wall. Ayan, so you have to face the wall. Kung yung pinapagawa ng mga teachers. So you have to, di ko alam kung ginagawa pa rin ng mga teachers. or especially with the, learning ngayon, you have to face the Zoom, face the monitor. Diba? Anyway, bago tayo ma-lost track sa ating conversation, so you have to literally face the wall. Hindi naman pala literally. You have to face the wall na kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan mo, and you have to pass through it and break the wall. Diba? Even for Joshua and his army, it took them around 6 days or 7 days para ma-break yung wall. And for you, kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan mo, wala kang pera ngayon or wala ka lang magawa or something, it doesn't have to be right now, diba? Sometimes you just have to wait and see what God wants him to do in your life. Diba? You just have to, but still you have to pass through it and you have to continue breaking your wall. Kung ano man yung naghihinder na yun. Diba? And just with what Joshua and his armies did, they shouted and wala silang ginawang violent or something. So, I just want to share a few points again. Diba, from the word wala, I've made another acronym from the word wala itself. Now, what can we do if we have or if we are facing a wala in our lives? Kung wala lang, 'di ba? If you have this wala attitude and if we are feeling na walang-wala tayo, and I came up with this acronym na I hope they can help you or they can inspire you to keep on moving. Ayan. So number 1, wala. When we say wala, W is you have to work on it. 'Di ba? Ito yung mahirap kahit na alam mong walang-wala ka na. Wala ka ng pera, wala kang trabaho, wala kang makain. Tapos sasabihin ka ng you have to work on it. Kailangan mo magtrabaho. I know it's hard. But you have to make out of something pa rin . Diba? Hindi naman pwedeng wala kang gagawin. So, basically, kung walang-wala ka na, ask for help. Diba? Ask for help and tell them your problem. And, alam mo, kung malaking bagay pa rin yung may napagsasabihan kay. Malaking bagay pa rin yung may nasasabihan ka ng problema mo na pwedeng wala din silang magawa. Pero alam mo yon, yung extra burden mo, hindi mo inaangkin . So, kahit papaano, you're still working on it. You're making something out of it. Diba? So, continue. Gawan mo ng paraan pa rin. Isipan mo. Don't give up. Don't give up. Ayan. Kung walang-wala ka na, friend, don't give up pa rin. Just remember that. Because pagkatapos nitong acronyms na to, you will know why. Ayan. So, number 1, which is W, is work on it. Then the next one is letter A. And that's anticipate the goodness and positivity. Ayan. So, anticipate mo lang goodness and possibility or positivity na pwedeng mangyari na like if you work on it, isipin mo na may magandang kahihinatnan to. Diba? There's something good that will come out of this things or out of the effort that I am doing. Ayan. So, wag mo nang pangunahan ng takot or wag mo nang pangunahan ng negativity. Pangunahan mo ng goodness instead. And kung hindi man nag-work, okay lang. Lesson. Kung nag-work, the good job for you. Diba? You anticipate the goodness and positivity. Like if ever, for example, you worked on it, nag-ask ka ng help, sinare mo yung problem mo, and without even asking, malay mo, that person, you've touched that person's life and nag-help siya sa'yo kung ano man yung pangangailangan mo, or if may nahihirapan ka mag-decide on something, maybe natulungan ka din nila, di ba? Ayan, so just anticipate the goodness and be positive about it. And so number 3, which is letter L from the word wala, that's gonna be laban. Ayan, so you have to face it and you have to accept. You have to accept na walang-wala ka na. You have to accept na ang hirap mag-decide. You have to accept na minsan may mga taong walang magmamahal sa'yo. Ang sakit nun, di ba? Pero move on. You have to break it. You have to break the wall. You have to continue. You don't have to sit back, but you have to stand up and laban. Face it. Kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan mo, that's the reality. And with all those WAL, this will all lead to the last point, which will be adore God. Ayan. So, when we have nothing, we still have to adore God. Kasi, di ba, when we have everything already, don't forget to adore God. Like, worship Him, thank Him, and everything. Don't forget Him when you have everything. And of course, if walang-wala ka na, still adore God. You have to worship Him pa rin, di ba? Win or lose, still have to thank God and adore Him because binigay niya yung wala sa'yo because maybe He's allowing you to learn something. If, for example, ang dami mong pera and then out of the snap, nawala. Well, maybe because nakakalimutan mo na siya and you've been prioritizing things na napapalayo ka from Him. Diba? So, it's a reminder na you still have to thank Him and talk to Him kahit na wala ka na. Walang difference kung meron ka or wala ka na. Diba? So, you have to adore God. And those are just the 4 things na I like to remind you of if you have wala na in your life. Like, work on it. You have to anticipate the goodness and positivity. Like, ito pala, idadagdag ko, if you keep on saying, wala na akong pera, dude, talagang wala ka ng pera kasi you keep on saying that. Diba? So, what you have to do is, sige, magkakaroon din ako ng pera, magkakaroon din ako ng pagkain, magkakaroon din ako ng trabaho, magkakaroon din ako ng kaibigan, magkakaroon din ako ng someone na makakaintindi sa akin. Mga ganun. Diba? Pangunahan mo na ng positivity and ng goodness. And the next one will be laban. So, you have to face it, move on, break your wall, and of course, lastly, if walang-wala ka na, you still have to adore God. And guys, alam nyo, if you feel like wala na, if you feel na walang-wala na, you just have to be reminded na walang imposible sa Diyos. O yan, that has to be in Tagalog para ramdam mo talaga. Walang imposible sa Diyos and that's in Matthew 19 verse 26. And sorry, what I don't know what happened. But yeah. So you just have to remember na if you feel like wala na, you just have to be reminded na walang imposible sa Diyos. Ayan. So there. I think that's gonna be it, and I think I've shared everything to you. So I hope you learned something from our Koinyo session, and I'm praying for you once again na lahat ng wala nyo ay maging meron, and may God remind you that in your walls or in your own walls of Jericho, there is nothing impossible to Him. Yan. So walang imposible sa Diyos. Alright? So I think there you go. This has been Zolo Baklig for another Konya session. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace out, bro.